Hi, I'm David Bowie.
Hi, I'm Tony Sales.
I'm Reeves Gabrels.
I'm Hunt Sales, and we're Tin Machine.
And you're watching us exclusively on NHK Television Japan. My feeling is that it's probably far more aggressive, and I think it's more overpowering live than it is actually on the record. I think from what the rehearsals that we've been doing, I think we're a superior band on stage than to the album.
The album,
definitely.
You're hearing the band learn the songs on the album too, which is another thing. We're not as sure-footed as we might be now, or I don't know if sure-footed is the word. But
because what we did was we'd get together and write the song, or come together with the ideas of the song in the studio and just put it down, and leave the results up to whatever else was out there helping us. But we're feeling each other out, like we've said, enjoying working with each other and bringing all of our past experience to that moment. And rock and roll is a live situation, isn't it?
If you want to see our stage lighting, it looks like this. Just like that.
It wasn't a forethought that we go in and sound live.
As you said, rock and roll is a live medium almost, although it seems like the industry has been getting away from that feeling over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's moved into, and unfortunately, all of us have been part and parcel of it. It's very easy to be fixated by the idea that it's also a consumer medium, and the idea of producing ambient music for people's homes has sort of been in there, and that was the advent of possibly the textural music of the mid-70s, which gave it the idea that rock and roll doesn't have to be continually exciting. We just kind of kicked that. We just thought, hey, this is...
It's not perfect music for perfect people, you know.
Nobody said it was.
I know.
No, we didn't want this album to be another nipple that would just pacify everybody. It's
a nape. A nipple, you're right.
No elevator music.
No, not from this band. No, no one's going to have their teeth done while they're listening to
it. What did we hear yesterday in the elevator? You keep me hanging on.
Keep me hanging on.
It's unreal to hear something like that as elevator music.
You might hear a couple of cuts of Tin Machine in the elevator.
I can't read. I listen with that because it's shooting up to the 13th floor. Yeah.
I think our music is actually closer to if they didn't play music in the elevator and you just listened to the sound the elevator made, that would be more like Tin Machine.
For me, there's a certain kind of... there's a desperate quality, because I think when you write so fast and so spontaneously, there's like a watershed, and I think a lot of your maybe unconscious emotional drives come through. So there's maybe a mixture of a certain kind of righteousness and a simplification inherent in what I'm doing. I'm not sure if it's anger or not. Yeah, I guess there's probably anger in there somewhere. Maybe it's anger at myself as well as objectively with that which is taking place around me, but it's certainly emotionally driven, yeah. It's not intellectualized, or as little as possible. That's why the words on some of the songs seem to be so simplistic, because they are direct, without coloration or literacy.
Because, like Prisoner of Love, which is a very interesting song because it seems to us that it's talking about protecting somebody from what the world is really all about, and something that we've all gone through, maybe some of us more than others.
Yeah.
And that must be difficult to do that in the studio when you're with a bunch of buddies.
Well, I think because these guys, we are pretty close to each other, I think we find no real problem opening up.
And there's a vulnerability amongst
Yeah, it's not like we're a bunch of session men and it's we clock in at 9 and clock out again. I mean, we know a lot about each other. We've been through a lot together one way and another. We've all had a lot of very similar problems. And I think that it gives you a kind of an atmosphere where you can really sort of understand why you want to write or why you want to play. And it goes deeper than just, yeah, that's a good chord.
Right. David, do you think, Prisoner of Love, do you think that anybody can protect somebody from...
Of course not.
...the sleaziness of the world?
No, it's a romanticist's notion, but it's thematically with the music that was going down in the studio at the time, it just felt right. You know, it's as simple as that.
what kind of comment would you have if somebody said, I heard the Tin Machine album and it has a real hard edge to it, real hard rock and roll? Would you think that was a result of only one listening, or would you agree with that? Or is it
I think that was some good airs.
Yeah.
You know?
I think ostensibly it has that kind of edge, but I would like to think that underneath that, it's texturally quite interesting.
Yeah, well, once you...
But it's, maybe on several listens it becomes
that is
more
the
diverse,
first impression.
Diversified. Yeah.
So but I don't think of it as a hard rock album at all, really. And I
It
know
comes on like a steel wall,
Yeah.
which I heard on CNN today.
Really?
Steel wall of the socialist motherland. I don't know the exact expression. Where do they get them from?
You kept the lyrics in a first draft form. Is that true, basically?
willingly,
Prevention is
unwillingly.
better than cure, I think, was the basic idea. I was not allowed to rewrite, which been left to my own devices, would certainly have done so. But they were very firm that I wasn't to. Once I blurted out what I thought the thing was about, then I should pretty much keep it in like that.
These three gentlemen.
Yeah.
And likewise, we weren't allowed to replay.
Well, we figured
for
if
the
we were
most
going to
part.
put the track down, and that was it. David's the fourth member of this band.
One of the
Yeah.
charms of actually really getting into the album is that the amount of mistakes on it. But that's kind of nice. It's
Now, wait a
rather like the
minute.
old soul.